I'm going to recognize myself now for the next one. Dr. Mulvaney, you made a comment to Mr. Tiffany in regards to power, in regards to recycling. I think you really need to check your information. It takes much more power to recycle something than it does new. So that's whether it be paper wood, whether it be minerals, all the way across the board. Number two, can you name me a mine that you actually endorse and support?
I'll answer the first question, a second question first. I live next to a sand mine in Ben Lomond, California, and I would support that.
How about a hard rock mine? How about a hard rock mine?
I actually don't know of any hard rock mines where I've lived near, so I don't know.
It seems to me like you should be looking at that hard rock mine and getting familiar with it if you're going to be an expert along these critical minerals, because it's so very, very important. Dr. Egger, I got to tell you, thanks for Colorado School of Mines. My dad and my sister went there, so thank you very much for that excellent education we got. I want to come back to uranium. I find it offensive that it's taken off, this critical mineral list, because now we're seeing, I was in Germany a couple of years back with Rob Bishop, and our military is supposed to have 24/7 baseload power. And they were going to use Nord Stream 2. And so my comment was, well, we're going to use this 24-hour baseload power coming from Russia. How does that work? And here we're doing the same thing again, where almost everybody that talks about green energy says you can't do it without nuclear right now. Take a quantum leap in battery storage to get this taken care of. So we're going down this rat hole again about energy and being dictated by adversaries. Would you consider Russia a friend, Dr. Egger?
Under the current circumstances, no, I would not consider Russia an ally.
And how did that switch flip? Was it very quick, that geopolitical switch? Didn't it flip very quickly?
Absolutely. I think for the last several decades, we, generally speaking, have viewed engagement with Russia as a means of, over the longer term, fostering greater security through more interactions. And what has happened came as a surprise.
So I also want to go back to Mr. Fulcher. He talked about helium. Now, it was I thought I saw this, that it was helium-4 that was used in a fusion experiment. Was that true? Mr. Egger? Dr. Egger?
I believe so. I'm not an expert on helium.
I guess coming along those same lines as Mr. Fulcher, to Dr. Nasser, this ought to be on the critical list, because my understanding is helium-4 just doesn't be everywhere. Now, Dr. Egger, when we're doing science discoveries and experiments, a critical element could be just anything that we need to have to place in there. But if you don't have it, you can't use it. Is that true? If you don't have that element, you can't use it.
If you don't have it, you cannot use it, correct.
Wow. It seems like all this technology is going down these roads with helium and nuclear and critical and hard rock. It's just amazing how much things we have not taken into consideration here. It's very, very sad. Mr. Summers, here is your answer to the gentleman from Arizona. In the multiple use doctrine, Congress gave the state the hard rock royalty as part of that aspect. Like in Arizona, the state is the last of jurisdiction because we were rejected the first time. The second time they came back with Taft. Taft was the only president to go to the Supreme Court. So he understood contracts. So we were forced to take the multiple use, or take the federal doctrine of the federal lands. But in lieu of that, we were given the multiple use doctrine that the Fed said they would get the maximum out of it to appease both sides. So hard rock mining went to the state. I find it very offensive that I look at my district We just had the ranking member and the Interior Secretary come into my state and withdraw over 1 million acres, not for the maintaining the landscape. It was to stop uranium production. And if you look at this, it is an unhealthy situation when you do not mine it. The breccia pipes, the collapsed breccia pipe, is a low point in the geology. I used to hate rocks, Dr. Egger. Now I love rocks. It sets you free. And so water pools there and in the air, and so you're going to get contamination all the way across. It seems to me like what you'd want to do is take out that uranium, clean it up, have sand and gravel put in there. It helps you through the caliche clays, so you get subpermeation of water. That was a mouthful. Sorry.